Sociologist, not a normal thing for me to be talking about, but
RICK SANTORUM.
Named Robert Putnam, who wrote a book called Our Kids. And he wrote this book, I think, ostensibly to support the Democratic argument that the middle of America is hollowing out and the income gap is widening and the rich are getting richer. When he studied all the information as to what was going on, he realized that the biggest reason that we're seeing the hollowing out of the middle of America is the breakdown of the American family. The reality is that if you're a single parent, a child of a single parent, and you grew up in a single parent family neighborhood, and you went to that single parent family school, the chance of you ever reaching the top 20% of income earners is 3% in America. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know about you, but that's not good enough. And we have been too politically correct in this country because we don't want to offend anybody, to fight for the lives of our children. You want to be shot? You read the first few chapters of Dr. Putnam's book. He talks about Port Clinton, Ohio, and growing up there in the 50s, and how poor kids actually survived and did well, even though they were poor and disadvantaged. But then he goes to the towns today, and these kids are failing miserably. They don't have a shot. And we won't even have the courage to have leadership at the federal level, not with legislation, but the most powerful tool the president has, the bully pulpit, to encourage each and every one of you, churches and businesses and educators and community leaders, to let's have a national campaign to rebuild the American family and give every child his birthright, which is a mom and a dad who loves them. That will change this economy.
That was Rick Santorum, and of course he's absolutely right about the breakdown of the American family. What he didn't say, and it's too bad he didn't, is why. People all of a sudden did not just decide to have children outside of wedlock. They were incentivized into doing so. What's happened is women have been incentivized to marry the government, men have been incentivized to abandon their financial and moral responsibility. And when you look at the violence and the crime in the inner city, places like Chicago and places like Philadelphia, known as Philadelphia even by local anchors, Newark, New Jersey, you will find a proliferation of children growing up without fathers. And I didn't say it, Obama did. A kid growing up without a dad is 5 times more likely to be poor and commit crimes, 9 times more likely to drop out of school, and 20 times more likely to end up in jail. There was a time, late 1800s, early 1900s, where, believe it or not, a black kid was slightly more likely to be born to a nuclear intact family than a white kid. Even during slavery, when marriage was illegal, a black kid was more likely to be born and raised under one roof with his biological mother and biological dad than today.